Welcome to episode 165, Bridge the Gap Between Winter and Spring. This time of year can be one of the most difficult to dress for. On one hand, you're ready for spring and you know as the day goes by the temperatures are going to climb. However, when you head out the door in the morning, there is still a chill in the air, making you want to reach for your winter coat. So, what do you even wear? In this episode, we're going to dive deep into bridging the gap between winter and spring and help you looking chic the entire time. But first, is your style in need of a jumpstart? Then I have just the thing for you. Find Your Signature Style is my flagship course, and it is a culmination of everything I have been teaching my clients for 14 years. This course gives you exactly what you need to build the foundation for your style, to build your wardrobe, to learn how to love shopping, and to fall in love with your style. Whether you feel like you don't have a style, you've lost your style, or your style just needs a little bit of a jumpstart, this is exactly the course for you. Designed to give you all the elements you need in 3 simple steps. We make finding your style as easy as 1, 2, 3. Click the link in the show notes or go to findyoursignaturesstyle.com and get ready to rock your style today. Welcome to Style by Mary Michele, a podcast designed to empower you through personal style. I'm your host, Mary Michele Nidifer, a master style coach, founder of Style Finder Boutique, and creator of the Style Finder ID system. I'm here to help you know what to wear, how to wear it, and how to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. Let's go. Hey there, gorgeous. How are you? I'm doing great. I'm actually having a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful life. And I am just thrilled to be where I am right now. So anyway, I'm back in Raleigh after doing some traveling and getting ready to do some more travel. I've got a couple of trips coming up. One big one to Paris in March and late March, early April. And I am counting down. So stay tuned. You guys are going to be hearing about all my wardrobe. Not conundrum. I'm not going to have a conundrum because I had a conundrum when I packed for New York, which I talked about last week. But anyway, I'm going to share with you all my behind the scenes tips. And speaking of helping you to plan your wardrobe, you have got to mark your calendars for Monday, March 6th. I wrote an ebook years ago. It's called How to Build a Fabulous Wardrobe. And I have given it to every single private client I've worked with. It's offered as a bonus for how to find your signature style. And it's something that I want to get into the hands of everybody, but I'm actually going to go live to teach it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a course called How to Find Your Signature Style, because so many people have said over the years, oh, I would love to have a course on this. I mean, it's great to have an ebook, but you need visuals, right? And it helps to have somebody explain it. It helps to be able to ask questions. And I want to take you behind the scenes with me while I create this live course. And so if you join me live on Instagram, it's Style by Mary Michele, beginning on Monday, March 6th at noon, then you are going to learn how to build a wardrobe just in time for spring, because I'm actually rolling out my spring wardrobe building course. And I will be sharing the details of that next week. So make sure you stay tuned. And if you want in on that, or if you have a question about building your wardrobe, send me a DM on Instagram. It's Style by Mary Michele. You can just say spring if you want more details about the course, or if you have a wardrobe building question you want me to answer when I do our live, you will, if you join live, you will have the opportunity to ask me questions live. And then the product I'm creating will be available for sale. And so it's going to answer all your questions. I have all the questions women have been asking me from 15 plus years of being in this industry. And I want to share them with you. So it's going to be a wild and crazy month in all the best ways. And I think what's going to happen is pretty soon it's going to be March and the time's going to change, and then it's going to be spring, and you're going to have all your events and travel and things come out of the woodwork. I don't know what it is, the weather turns warm and it seems like people come out of the woodwork. I know that's how I feel. Like when it's cold, I just want to hibernate. I don't want to get outside. I don't want to do anything. And I mean, it's a great time to work on my book and get all the things done that I've been doing behind the scenes. But come spring, everybody's ready to get out and have a party or have an event. And you're going to be looking at your wardrobe going, what the heck? So today I'm sharing with you how to bridge the gap between winter and spring. Because if you're not careful, you could just wear your winter clothes right into early spring. And then all of a sudden you reach that period where you're just like, oh my God, I feel frumpy. I feel wintry. I need a complete wardrobe change. And I'm going to share with you in my course how you don't need a complete wardrobe change. You just need to make some shifts. But today we're talking about how to bridge that gap so you don't feel that abrupt winter one day, spring the next, because it kind of throws you for a loop, right? I mean, it's bad enough weather-wise, and it's bad enough for my sinuses. But I think with your wardrobe, when you can gradually and gracefully transition, that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, I want to thank you, ladies. So many of you came out and shared the love and left me a review of the podcast. And I am so grateful. I'm blown away. And I just cannot thank you enough for all of your kind words. And I just would like to say thank you. And if you haven't left a review, please go leave a review, because it's how more people can find the podcast. But this review was left by Best Game Ever Swag. And she says, #1 on my list. Mary Michelle's advice is so sensible. It resonates on every aspect of who I want to be as a woman and professional. Listening to her is #1 on my list of self-care. She brings clarity and creates a confidence I didn't know I was capable of. Love her. Well, Best Game Ever Swag, I love you too. And I am grateful for your kind words. And I'm so glad to hear that this has helped you. I want everybody who listens to the podcast to feel stylish and chic and confident and like you can do it, because you know what? I'm a real woman too. We're all here together. And I just want to take you behind the scenes of what I'm doing and what I've learned over the years so that you can have a better life, so that you can get dressed easier, and so you can feel great about who you are in the world, because you are already amazing. All right, so how do you bridge the gap between winter and spring? Well, it is a tricky time of year to know what to wear, because I know, especially with all these false springs or these false starts, like, ooh, spring is here. No, don't put your coat away yet. And so it can be very tricky to understand what to pack when you're traveling. As I mentioned on my recent trip to New York, I had no idea what to wear when I was packing. And so it kind of put me in a little conundrum. But what I did, if you guys listened to my podcast last week about style lessons I learned from New York, one is something that I am a big believer in already, but really came in handy and helped me out in a whole new level. And that was layers. Layers, ladies. I cannot stress this enough. Layers are key. And I know one day when I was in New York, I walked into the Javits Center. Every day, Meredith and I would get up and walk to the Javits Center. And our walk was chilly. It was in the morning. We'd stop and get our coffee and talk about our day. And our walk was brisk. And of course, we warmed up a little bit, but it was still pretty brisk. And some days it was windy. And so one day, the first day, I wore a very thin black mock turtleneck under a sweater, under a liquid leather jacket, under my coat. And it might sound like a lot, but you know what? It was perfect, because I had planned accordingly. And yes, I was a good Girl Scout. So what I did was, once we got there, I headed to the restroom and I did a quick change. So what I did, because I learned my lesson the day before, I had burned up being in there. And so I swapped out my turtleneck for a simple tank. It was a black tank with some lace around the neckline. I took off my sweater and put on my liquid leather jacket over the tank. And then what I did was I draped my sweater around my shoulders, which was nice to have a little extra warmth because it was a little bit cool at the show, but sometimes because it was a little bit warm at the show, but sometimes it would get a little cooler. And then we checked our coats, which was, oh my God, that was so much, just such a really convenient thing to do. It made things so much easier. And then I just had my crossbody bag, which I always travel with. And I had on my comfy shoes. I think I wore my sneakers every day at the Javits Center because that just was comfortable. And I had been wearing my boots when we were outside and they were perfect for that. However, when we were inside, they were a little too hot. So the first day I went down there, I was burning up. But the second day I came prepared. And so layers are what will be your saving grace. Because I know in the morning when I get up and take my son to school, it's chilly. And I usually want a heavier coat or I want some more layers. And then when I get to my destination, then I want to peel back the layers. And so it really helps to layer. Maybe you do a t-shirt with under a button down, under a liquid leather jacket or a blazer, and then throw a coat on top of it if you need to. But have options, have layers. Don't just wear a big chunky sweater that's going to look and feel like winter. Because first of all, it looks like winter. It doesn't look like you're ready for spring. But second of all, if it warms up throughout the day, you are going to be burning up. And if that's all you have on, you don't have anything to change into or anything underneath it, then you might get a little uncomfortable. I know at the end of the first day at the show, we were both sweating. I think my back was soaked with sweat just because we weren't sure. We'd been dressing for being outside. We had not dressed for inside. And I learned my lesson. So maybe you start with a top or a blouse, you add a cardigan, maybe a vest. I love vests this time of year. And they're great for keeping you warm. But then, as the temperature rises, take them off. Maybe you swap out a thick vest for a lightweight cardigan or jacket. And it really makes a difference. Now, my second tip, transitional shoes. As I mentioned earlier, when I was at the Javits Center, the boots were great for outdoors, but once I was indoors, my feet were way too hot. And boots are, they're pretty de rigueur for winter. They're just the norm, right? And I am chomping at the bit right now to wear my sandals, but I want to encourage you to kind of steer clear of your sandals just yet. I know in early spring, I remember in early spring, I used to be so excited to wear my sandals. And, early March or March, the first day of spring, then I would be super, super excited to wear my sandals. And I would kind of jump the gun. I used to be that impatient. I remember leaving the house with my sandals on and being at school and freezing or walking around and just freezing because I just couldn't wait. But I am telling you to wait because this is the time of year where you need what I call a transitional shoe. A transitional shoe is something that if it is a bootie, maybe it's a peep toe bootie, but you've got a lot of coverage, but maybe just a little bit of toe is showing to give you a little bit of air circulation. Or what I would recommend is just a regular bootie, a sneaker. Sneakers are great this time of year because they do allow your feet to breathe a little bit more than boots will. And they're not as closed. But other closed-toe shoes, loafers, wedges can be great. I love a great bootie. So, something that's a little bit more versatile. It doesn't give you quite as much coverage. It's not an up-to-the-knee or over-the-knee boot, which I absolutely adore, but there are a lot of places where you just cannot wear those. So wear something that's going to help you transition and think about what you're doing. Are you going to be outside? Are you going to be indoors? What's appropriate? Do you need a sock? Do you need hosiery? Because if you do wear, maybe it's an open flat. I know ballet flats have been so hot for spring. But if you have a very open ballet flat and it's still a little chilly, your feet might get a little cold. So maybe it's too soon for those. Maybe you want something a little more closed like a bootie or a sneaker. So I'm not encouraging everybody to wear sneakers if they're not appropriate. However, they are, if you do wear those like I do, then they're a great transitional shoe. Now, my third tip, a versatile jacket. There is nothing worse than pulling together a chic spring-like outfit and then topping it off with your dark winter coat, right? It just looks like, ooh, I'm not sure what season it is. Instead, choose layers and then top them off with maybe a lightweight neutral jacket or a lightweight colorful jacket, or even a print jacket, cardigan, coat. Or if you do need to go the heavier route, try a vibrant coat. I know my mom has this gorgeous, she bought it years ago, and she pulled it out at Christmas, this gorgeous hot pink short car coat. Oh my gosh, I love that coat. And I was thinking I might invest in a hot pink coat this year, because that's something that I know pink is magenta and pink are hot this year, but that's something I would wear all the time or every year, even if it's not in style, because that's me. That's just me. It's my signature color. But I never really found one that I loved. But a hot pink, so you put on a hot pink coat, or a vibrant green, or a navy coat, or even camel, or as I mentioned, the coat I wore in New York was an off-white. And even that could work. It is wool, but the color looks a little bit more spring and can be a little bit more transitional. And so when you're thinking transitional, this is a great time of year to really focus on neutrals. Maybe neutrals popped, slightly popped with a bright, or slightly popped with a print. But I think wearing a lot of darker colors right now, this is the time of year we really want to think about getting out of that. And I'm sitting here looking at the colors for spring right now, and there are some beautiful, vibrant colors. You know what I've never seen? In all my 15 years of style coaching, I have never seen black listed as either the color of the year or one of the hottest colors of the season. Now, I know black is timeless. It's something you can wear, all the time, whenever you like, but I've never seen it actually on a color chart. And I find that interesting. But there's a reason that the colors for spring are a little bit more vibrant, because this is when the flowers start blooming and things start coming out of the ground. And it's like this color wave just sweeps over the earth, and it's so beautiful. But it's really a time of reawakening ourselves, reawakening our style, and really getting back in touch with who we are. And that's really what I want to walk you through when I teach my course on spring style. So I really want you to keep an eye out for that. I will be making that announcement next week. But starting on Monday, I'm going to be bringing you behind the scenes with me to teach my free workshop, How to Build a Wardrobe. And it is going to be free just on the live. And then we're going to package it, and it will be available for purchase. So I want you to come join me for this information, because this is really what the foundation of what I teach all my clients. And when you understand how to find your signature style, when you understand how to build a wardrobe, those are the fundamentals. I'm all about giving you all the good information so that you know what to wear. And I'm here to walk you through it. So if you have not yet taken How to Find Your Signature Style, then I want you to go grab our flagship course and then come join me on Monday, March 6th at noon Eastern Time on Instagram at Style by Mary Michele. Come join me, bring a notebook, bring your lunch, bring a drink, and let's get ready to dive in deep on what is right for you. All right, ladies, thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to Style by Mary Michele, where women come to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. If you enjoyed this podcast, I invite you to leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you're listening.
Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Style by Mary Michele and shop our boutique at shopstylefinder.com for the best in upscale casual apparel. Better yet, if you're in the Raleigh area, come see us. We're located in the North Hills Shopping Center, the premier shopping district in Midtown Raleigh. For details and links mentioned in this episode, be sure to see the show notes. Have a beautiful week.